Most people learn pen turning in a sequence. They drill it, then they glue it, then they turn it, then they sand it, then they assemble it, they get it all ready to go. And the sequence works right up until the end, until it doesn't work. Then you're stuck because you know the steps, but you never really ask what each individual step does. And the difference between knowing the steps and understanding the steps separates the beginning turner from the turner who's been making pens for a long time. Today, I'm going to be talking about some of the steps and the process in pen turning. I'm not going to walk you through each individual step. I just want to make sure that you understand the reasons behind it. Because once you understand the reasons why, you're not just following instructions, you're making decisions, and that is when your skills will start to improve. Here's the first shift. You get a brand new kit, you're all excited to make it. So what do? You rip open the bag, you pull out all the components, you lay them out, and you start. So you turn it, you sand it, you finish it, everything looks beautiful, you assemble it, it looks really great. And now you twist it, and you see that the refill sticks out too far. What went wrong? Let's backtrack and see exactly what happened. Turners are taught to square the edges of the pen blank after the tube has been glued into the blank to make sure that when you assemble it, the pieces fit properly. But there is the possibility of shortening the tube in the blank, and when you assemble it, the refill sticks out when retracted. One of the first things I do is I'll take the actual pen tube and I'll measure it. Get yourself a good set of calipers. I'm telling you, it'll pay off in the long run. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to open this up, put my pen tube in, and measure this. It's 2.2 inches. When squaring the blank, whether using a disc sander or a barrel trimmer, sand or trim just till the blank is even with the brass tube. Stop immediately to avoid shortening the tube. Now, I've squared up my pen blank. I've used a disc sander, and now I'm going to measure this. And it comes out to 2.2 inches. So I know when I put this on the lathe and turn it, it's going to be exactly correct. Now, what if you don't use a disc sander? Let's say you're using a barrel trimmer, and you trim it, and you have this deep inset in here from the barrel trimmer. Well, again, what I'll do is I'll just knock off a corner like that on both ends, and now I can take my calipers, put it in here, and measure this, and again, it's 2.2 inches. So I know when I turn this, it's going to be perfect. Here's another one that I did, okay? Got a little aggressive with the sander. So when I measure this one, it comes out to 2.1 inches. It's way too short. If I turn this and assemble it and put it all together, I know my refill is going to stick way out. So why even bother at this point to make this pen? The second shift, and this one I've seen more times than I can count, is that a new turner will leave the blank proud of the bushings and then try and sand down to the bushings. And while he does that, what will happen is they'll transfer the dust from the bushing onto the pen blank, and it gets dark spots all through it. Swap out the metal bushings with plastic bushings before sanding. Plastic bushings let you sand the pen blanks from end to end and finish them. That's a good thing, but you must be careful to avoid letting sandpaper wrap around the end and round it over. The third shift. This is kind of a simple one. Most lathes are not machinist lathes. They're not going to have a perfect rotation. So what I do is I turn down to the bushing, open the tailstock, and flip the blank around a little bit and tighten it back up again. What that does is it causes a new center to be made on the blank. Now, if I feel the edges, it's a little bit off where before it felt perfect. This side feels good, but that side feels slightly off. I'm going to go ahead and turn down to the bushings again so the blank is completely flush with the bushings. Another aspect in pen turning are your bushings. Your bushings are very important because you're going to turn the wood down to match the bushings, and then your pieces will fit together properly. Now, I turned this one down. These bushings have been used quite a bit. but they still are in good condition because when I sand, I don't sand them. So now if I measure this is going to be 4.7, and if I look at my instructions, the diagram, that tells me my bushing is 4.7. Let's see what this side is. This side is 4.7 as well. So these bushings are still in good shape. And since I did that, the Penn fit is going to fit well. Now here's another set of bushings that I've used a long time. I don't use them anymore because you're going to see why. When I place these on, first of all, you can visibly see the difference between here and the actual bushing and the piece of wood. And when I measure the bushings, it should be 4.7. These come out to be 4.3 on this side and 4.5 on this side. Bushings are expendable. Do yourself a favor, get a new set of bushings and you won't have an issue. For the last shift, here's a bonus tip. CA glue has several uses, one of which can be used to fill in holes in your blanks. In order to do that, change the metal bushings with plastic ones and place a cover over the lathe bed so the CA does not get on it. You can fill the hole with shavings, but to make it more interesting, fill it with a contrasting color. Then turn or sand it down flush and apply a finish of your choice. You don't need years to build a mental model. You just need to ask yourself one question each time. Why does this step exist? Understanding that beats repetition all the time. Penn turning is about problem solving. And when you get stuck, reflect on what you were trying to achieve and think about those possible solutions to avoid those issues. And until next time, happy turning.